dawn, the water looks calm, but in one of the world's most dangerous waterways, calm can be the most deceptive thing of all. Because when U.S. Marines begin rehearsing how to come ashore, every capital in the region starts reading between the waves. This is not just another exercise. It is a message written in steel, rotor wash, and the thunder of engines crossing open water. And that message is aimed at anyone watching the Strait of Hormuz and wondering what happens if deterrence fails. For Iran, this kind of movement is impossible to ignore because amphibious drills are never only about training. They are about signaling readiness, exposing vulnerabilities, and proving that distance from shore no longer means safety. Tonight, we break down the ships, the landing craft, the beach drills, and the warning hidden inside every rehearsal.
The Strait of Hormuz, a narrow but critical choke point for global cargo.
The Strait of Hormuz is not just a narrow stretch of water, it is one of the pressure points of the global economy. Tankers, escorts, surveillance aircraft, and warships all crowd into a corridor where one mistake can trigger a crisis. That is why the area has become a stage for signaling, intimidation, and carefully calculated military presence. And in that environment, amphibious forces are different from ordinary naval patrols.
Target
they carry the
acquisition
image of
confirmed
a
in
rival,
Sector 7.
not just the
Live feed
ability
shows
to
movement
watch,
recalibrating.
not just
Monitor
the
for
ability to
contingencies.
strike, but the ability to put boots, vehicles, and logistics ashore. That changes the psychology of deterrence, because now the question is not whether the force is nearby. The question becomes whether that force can transition from sea to land fast enough to seize the initiative. And that is exactly what amphibious rehearsals are designed to prove. Everything begins with the big deck amphibious assault ship, a vessel built to carry Marines, aircraft, command teams, and momentum. From a distance, it resembles a small aircraft carrier. Up close, it is a floating launch point for a crisis response. Helicopters can lift troops inland. Tilt rotors can leap over the beach entirely. Landing craft can push heavy equipment straight ashore. That flexibility is what makes amphibious groups so unsettling. They force defenders to worry about multiple axes at once. Is the threat coming from the waterline? From the air? From a raid inland beyond the coastal defenses? The entire purpose is to create uncertainty, and uncertainty is a weapon all by itself. Behind the flagship come the support ships, carrying more vehicles, supplies, marines, and machinery needed to sustain a landing. Because landing is only the
Watch
first
the
step.
ramp! Sand's blowing hard!
Surviving, expanding,
path.
and
Keep
holding
it moving.
ground is what turns a drill
Next
into a
go.
serious thing. Then come the machines that make the whole idea terrifying at close range. Hovercraft, armored vehicles, waves of motion. The LCAC is built for speed and shock, skimming over the surface before climbing directly onto the beach. It doesn't wait for a perfect harbor, doesn't need a pier. It turns open coastline into an entry point. Heavy cargo, vehicles, ammunition, fuel, engineering. The things an army needs can arrive fast and ugly. And once that first wave lands, the beach is no longer
teams,
just
go!
terrain.
Go,
it becomes
go!
a logistics army. Alongside them are amphibious combat vehicles designed to keep Marines moving from ship to shore and beyond. This matters because mobility after landing can be even more important than the landing itself. A force that stalls on the shoreline becomes a target. A force that punches through creates a dilemma. And amphibious drills rehearse that transition over and over: sea, surf, sand, road, objective. Every second saved between those phases is another second stolen from the defender's decision cycle. That is why speed is not just convenience. In amphibious warfare, speed is survivability. And survivability in a region filled with missiles, drones, and coastal threats means everything. So imagine the sequence. Before sunrise, ships
Tide
hold
shift at
position
dawn.
over
We
the
launch
horizon,
then. Sir, scans show
invisible to
defenses
most
here.
eyes on
Adjust the
shore.
plan. Mark it.
On deck,
Confirmed.
crews move
Sinking
in
now.
near silence. Fuel lines, radios, helmets, manifests, checklists. Nothing is random now. In the well deck, engines roar to life. The hovercraft tremble, hungry for release. Above them, aircraft crews prepare for the other half of the assault equation: vertical envelopment. The beach is never just a beach. It is a puzzle of gradients, dunes, obstacles, and kill zones. That is why rehearsals matter. A bad beach choice can sink timing, scatter units, and invite disaster. Then the launch order comes, ramps lower, engines scream, water churns, and the sea starts throwing metal toward land. At the same time, aircraft lift off to scout, cover, confuse, or race Marines toward inland objectives. What the defender sees is not one threat, it is several problems unfolding at once. And that
All
is
stations,
the point.
report status.
Amphibious
Navigation
power
aligned,
works
Captain.
best
Good.
when it
Monitor
overloads
that
the
anomaly.
enemy's attention.
Signature is fluctuating.
First wave ashore.
Multiple routes, but no clear
Vehicles
target.
spread,
The intel is
infantry
ambiguous.
dismount.
Agreed, we must proceed with
Security
caution.
forms
Monitor all
instantly
routes.
around the landing lane. There is no pause for spectacle. The beach is a workspace, and every second exposed is a risk. Engineers mark lanes. Radios crackle. More craft approach. The drill begins to resemble a machine.
Move up.
And
Secure
if you
the
are
beach.
watching from the
Copy,
other
flank
side
secure.
of the Gulf,
Pushing
this
to
is where
objective.
unease turns into calculation. Because no one stages a beach assault rehearsal in a strategic region without knowing exactly how it will be interpreted.
Clear the area!
Amphibious
Close the
drills
crates!
say,
Move,
we can
move,
appear
get inside
offshore,
now!
move
Lifting
fast,
off!
and create
Stand
options where you thought geography protected you. They also say fixed defenses can be bypassed, ports can be avoided, and assumptions can be broken. For Iran, that matters deeply because coastal defense is as much about perception as weapon range. If an opponent can land where you did not expect, then your coastline
Carrier to
becomes
B3,
longer than the
deploy
map
escorts.
suggests.
Sub at A2
And once
reports
uncertainty
contact.
spreads,
Jets to
every
C4,
bay, every
engage.
flat beach, every
Move
reachable
inland,
strip
stay
of
tight!
coast starts to matter.
Push
That
forward,
is why
maintain
military
formation!
signaling often works without a shot being fired. It forces the other side to imagine the rest. And imagination under pressure can be expensive. More alerts, more patrols, more scrambling, more mistakes. In that sense, the exercise does not need to become combat to have already changed the battlefield.